Hi, Marina. I apologize for the delay in getting this back to you. I've been doing a lot of traveling overseas. Anyway, I apologize, but here it is. Let's take a look at what you've got here. Traditional foods being replaced by fast food. Let's see what you wrote. Experts it should be throughout. So, experts throughout both the developing and developed world have debated whether a spread of fast food have positive or negative impact on our life. Let's clean up the grammar here. So, whether the spread of fast food has had a positive or negative impact on our life. This example with discuss both sides using example. No. Okay. Well, let's look at this. It's supposed to answer your introduction is supposed to answer to what extent you agree or disagree. You haven't told us that anywhere, whether you think yes, it has a negative impact or no, it doesn't. So what you wrote here instead is kind of incoherent because it says this example with discuss both sides. We don't want you to discuss both sides unless you see validity to both sides. So first you have to tell us that. You have to tell us, I believe that this shift towards fast food has had a negative impact on our life. And I will use examples from the UK government and Oxford University to demonstrate points and prove arguments. That would have been okay. All right. Or maybe you could say, I believe that families and society on the whole are negatively affected by this. But for single people, single individuals, the spread of fast food is rather positive. So you could do that as well. All right. So you can talk about both sides, but only if you see validity to both sides and you see that the spread of fast food has some positive aspects for some of those people, whether it's families, individuals, and society. Okay. I hope that makes sense. But you also have to clean up this grammar here. All right, let's move on. On the one hand, there is ample evidence of the detrimental effect of junk food on individuals and society. The central reason behind this is twofold. Firstly, fast food is typically unhealthy because it contains, you don't need a comma here, because it contains less nutrients, but more processed meat, refined carbohydrates, and flavor enhancers. For example, recent empirical research by the UK government demonstrated that observed changes in dietary patterns led to the rise of non communicable diseases such as sugar diabetes and obesity. Wow, that's great. Not that it has led to the rise, but the sentence itself I meant is great. That's a great sentence. Secondly, replacing traditional foods by snacks leads to the disappearance of food related customs and norms, and consequently, societies could lose the uniqueness in culinary skills and national identity. Also, beautiful sentence. Great. Therefore, it is conclusively clear that the increase in fast food consumption, singular, affects people's health and preservation of cultural values. Okay, fine. So, individuals and society covered. Great. On the other hand, the tendency to use pre cooked food is more suitable for the modern dynamic pace of life. That is largely because buying ready meals allows people to save a great deal of time. Moreover, fast food is more convenient to take away and to eat during walks or traveling. Instead of wasting hours cooking home meals, comma, individuals prefer to spend time working, doing sport, or enjoying activities with their family. For instance, an extensive study by Oxford University showed that in Great Britain, 59% of men and 32% of who? I don't know. 32% of women? Maybe. Spend no time on daily food preparation. Consistent with this line of thinking is that people became more mobile and not tied to home because they could eat on the run at various locations throughout the day. Great sentence. Thus, it is possible to state beyond doubt that fast food benefits lifestyle changes that have taken place in many countries over the last few decades. All right, great paragraph. However, you're missing something. Remember what I said in the beginning. You're supposed to talk about families, individuals, and society. So if you had thrown in here how beneficial this is for families who have, multiple obligations, homework, sports practice, dance, whatever, all of this hectic activity that occurs in families. And so this increase in fast food has made life manageable for these people. Then it would have been okay because you would have covered all points of the essay. Okay. So that was missing. I liked what you wrote, but you didn't cover this aspect, and that's really important. Okay. So, from the arguments and examples given, I firmly believe that complete rejection of consuming normal homemade meals could cause dramatic, not dramatical, dramatic harm to our health, but periodic replacement, let's see, but periodic replacement of traditional dinners by takeaway could save time and help to cope with the fast pace of modern life. It is predicted that the balanced diet will increasingly grow in importance. Okay. So I think you have a pretty good idea of what I think the strengths and weaknesses of this essay were. I think you had some sentences, your support sentences were actually really great. I really enjoyed them. I thought they were very well written. There were some strange grammatical mistakes that were inconsistent and that maybe reduced some of the effect. So it was pretty much throughout the essay like little things, but then there were also a couple of sentences that were just incoherent. And so you have to be careful with that because those were enough to lower your score. All right, be careful. But really, the important thing is the task achievement element. You absolutely need to mention all three of these because there's that and there. So they expect you to talk about all. If it had been an or, then you would have been okay. All right. Because when there's an or, it means you don't have to talk about it. But with the and, you absolutely do have to talk about all three. Okay. I hope that makes sense. And don't forget also this here, how important it is to present your position in the introduction. Okay. So it was those pieces here that are important. Okay. Let's go on now to your letter to your friend. Let's see what you said. All right, careful with this. Yes, we do talk like this. Yes, this would be appropriate for an email to a friend. That's very true. But because this is IELTS and it is a language test, I would prefer you to be a little more conservative. Okay. So you should probably also see in the test paper instructions saying begin your letter, dear, dot, dot, dot. So absolutely pay attention to that and definitely follow that instruction. This probably wouldn't be a great thing to do in IELTS. So I suggest that you be more conservative and just write Dear Victor. All right, let's see what you wrote. Dear Victor, how are you? I'm really sorry it didn't work out for us to meet last month during my trip to St. Petersburg. It was a crazy week because I had to deal with tons of things in a short time. I was planning to reach out to you on the weekend before my flight back, but I caught a cold and spent all the weekend in bed. To make matters worse, I broke my phone and wasn't able to call you. After I came back to Israel, I threw myself back into work and studies, and it completely slipped my mind that I didn't even say sorry for not sending you any note. Hope you are not mad at me. I'm going to visit Russia again next month, and this time I will have 2 weeks, so I definitely want to hang out with you. In order not to let last minute changes spoil the plan, let's plan our meeting in the first half of my trip, which is from 1st till the 15th of October. Please let me know what date suits you best, and I'll make sure to free it for you. Sorry again. Hope to see you soon. Take care, Marina. Okay. Great. This is absolutely great. I have absolutely nothing to say. Was it informal? Yes, it was. You did some informal things that worked for me, like this. Hope you are not mad at me. That's an example of ellipsis. You didn't write the I, and that's okay. We can do that in informal language. And you did that well. You did a lot of this really well. So I don't have any suggestions for making this better. You included all three of the bullet points. So it's a very, very well executed letter, Marina. Okay, great job. So go ahead and correct these. Get a new set back to us. Let's see. I will be able to correct tomorrow because, again, I'm getting on a plane in a little while. So, yeah, but you have time to definitely write, and then I will get to it, and things will be more normal and running more smoothly. Okay? So great job, and I look forward to your next set.